The tiny orange kitten sat quietly in the corner of his metal cage, meowing just loud enough to be heard over the noise of barking dogs and other cats. His name was Philip. He didn't know why he was there or what he had done wrong. All he knew was that the warm touch of his mother was gone, replaced by cold steel and endless sounds of fear around him. The shelter was overcrowded. Every cage was full, and every day, new animals arrived hoping for a home. But not all of them would get one. Philip was small, too small to be on his own, and the clock was already ticking. The staff did what they could, but space was limited. He had 1 week left to be adopted. 1 week before his little story could have ended far too soon, but fate has its own timing. That same week, a young man named Josiah came across a post online. 2 orange kittens were up for adoption, and something about their photo made him stop scrolling. He didn't plan it, but something in his heart told him he needed to go. When he arrived, 1 kitten was already gone. Only Philip remained, tiny, nervous, and looking up with those hopeful eyes. Josiah knelt beside the cage. Before he could say anything, Philip let out a soft but determined meow, then another. It was as if he was calling out directly to him, begging, "Please, take me home." Josiah smiled and slowly opened the door. And just like that, Philip leapt into his arms, pressing his small head against Josiah's chest, purring so loud it filled the quiet room. It was clear they had found each other. At home, Philip was cautious at first. Every corner was a mystery, every sound new. He sniffed the furniture, peeked under the couch, and stayed close to Josiah's feet. But within an hour, the fear melted away. His little tail lifted, his curiosity came alive, and soon he was running from room to room, climbing onto the bed, batting at the blanket, and exploring like he had always belonged there. Josiah couldn't stop smiling. He quickly realized Philip wasn't like other cats. Wherever he went, Philip followed, whether it was from the kitchen to the living room or even into the bathroom. If Josiah sat down, Philip was there, curling up beside him or in his lap. During movie nights, Philip would settle in quietly, his soft purring filling the space like background music. When Josiah returned home from work, Philip was always waiting by the door, tail up, eyes bright, as if to say, "You're back. I missed you." Over time, their bond grew deeper. Philip seemed to understand Josiah's moods better than anyone else. When Josiah felt tired or lonely, Philip would gently press his face against his hand or lay across his lap, reminding him he wasn't alone. It was as if Philip had made it his life's mission to make his human smile. He also turned out to be surprisingly smart. Philip learned words quickly. Whenever Josiah said food, he would run straight to his bowl, sitting patiently until it was filled. When he heard "go for a ride," he'd rush to his carrier, waiting to be picked up. And unlike most cats, Philip actually enjoyed car rides. The hum of the engine, the music, the gentle breeze through the window, it all fascinated him. He'd sit quietly, watching the world move by, looking peaceful and content, like he knew he had been given a second chance. Of course, not everything was easy. Josiah's parents had allergies, which made visits a little tricky. There were air purifiers, closed doors, and constant cleaning, but Josiah never complained. For him, Philip was worth every bit of extra effort. The bond they shared was special, something pure and comforting. As the weeks turned into months, Philip became more than just a pet. He was family, a best friend, a source of laughter, and a small heartbeat that filled Josiah's home with warmth. Every morning, Philip would jump onto the bed, nudge Josiah awake, and follow him through his routine like a tiny shadow. In the evenings, he'd curl up beside him, always ready for cuddles or quiet company. Sometimes Josiah would look at Philip and think about how close he came to never having this chance. Just a few days later, and that shelter might not have had space for him. But one small decision, one simple yes, had changed everything. Philip's story is more than just a rescue tale. It's a reminder of what adoption can do. For every cat like him that finds a home, there are still so many others waiting in shelters, hoping for their moment of luck, their chance to be loved. Today, Philip lives a happy, safe life surrounded by love, play, and adventure. He's the same curious kitten, but now his days are filled with warmth, toys, and long naps by the window. He still loves his car rides, his food bowl, and especially his human. Josiah often says Philip didn't just fill his home, he filled his heart, because in the end, Philip wasn't just rescued. He rescued Josiah too. If this story touched you, give it a like and share it with someone who believes every animal deserves a second chance. Even one share can help another Philip find their forever home.